Hey, this is a Pacific audio that was recorded in 2022. Um, it's a Pacific observation that I happened to come across just reading about some of the prophets in the Bible, and not only the Bible but other documentations from people of that similar original understanding in America at that. That had to deal with particular situations as far as hateful means and et cetera, et cetera. So this is going to be brief. It's not going to be long. I had to step outside to record this because you know, I'm not sure if I'm being pre-recorded. So for those who understand, um, yeah, just my observation of Moses, just to bring up one of um during his time, being around in Egypt and this and that. Um, I sometimes sit and I'm, just by reading and understanding, um, and looking into personal life and things at these times of how these individuals maintain during dealing with Egypt and during those times and the rulership and the bondage and the control that they was dealing with. Um, what gave him the inspiration to come out of those controls or want to stand up and say something about uh, um, his people being stuck in rulership and under an evil empire. Um, I think there's a point where um, sometimes people can be confused and they don't understand what's going on, and uh, there's a point where they feel within themselves, their heart and spirit, that something's wrong. I'm going through so much, or I'm dealing with something, and my family is involved in it, and I'm seeing everybody around me go through something and struggling, and nobody's saying nothing, but within me, in my inner, something's. I have to say something, right? So that's what I, was just sitting thinking about at the time. Like, what spirit drove him to even get to that point of, look, I need to have some sort of heart or something. I need some type of spirit or something in me to get some disability for everyone to understand what I'm trying to get them to see. Right? 20 minutes. Come on. And so I guess at that specific time, um the Most High started making a call to Moses within himself and his spirit, and get up and stand and say something to the rulers that this is wrong. This is my people not doing good. They suffering. You're basically conquering people by the way you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? The things you're doing to people. Your Pacific machinery is not working for people. I mean, I have to, this is what he's saying. You have to do something. And, just observing, because, there's a lot of individuals, like I said, they they living comfortable and they living according to the standards and the rulership of man, and they will sit and they won't. How can I say? They won't understand or see anything that's taking place until certain major situations happen in their own life, right? Then that's when they want to make a difference. That's when they want to make a change or this and that. You know what I'm saying? I never had no notion to even do it way before any event. They just want to, for whatever reason. So I want to be brief here, but I want to be able to be consistent and straightforward with my words right now, and keep it limited. There's a lot of prophets in the Bible. Like I said, it's up to you to understand if, what form of land that they originated from. Because if you know the truth, you know the truth already. There's no need to keep constantly repeating it, because those children and those people that comes from those prophets are still dealing with the situations that they dealt with to this day. So it's not hard to see and understand. In my opinion, I think the bloodline of these people it's kind of like trying to be blocked, pushed to the side systematically under the machine's belt to seem as if those original people are a threat to your comfortabilities. Okay. I noticed a lot of I'm gonna do that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop it here. I'm gonna do that in another video. It's another subject I want to dump. So I'm gonna stick to this one. A lot of people, there's a book called the Apocrypha. Now they're saying that there's a lot of documents and stuff that's been missing out of the book, whatever, or hidden, such and such. You have some people that say, well, watch what you read and don't, be careful of this stuff and this and that. Too many stories in these documents are too accurate or sounds too familiar to be ignored. Okay. Just by the display and the behavior of certain people today, some of those, some of the stuff that's written has to be accurate and correct, because in order for this planet to be, not to say planet, but I'm gonna say this, in order for the people of that time, the original people of that time, to survive this long, there had to be some type of influence or people that stood up or said something about something in order to keep the group spiritually okay and protected to a point where they knew the truth, but they wanted to think about their life just to live on. You understand? To keep the generation advancing, to keep the people going, and do things in a spiritual way that would eliminate the enemy spiritually. I can understand that, okay, from that point. Now, there's a particular, I can't believe right now, my mind is a little blank because I got so much going on right now. There's a particular prophet in the Apocrypha. If I give me a minute to think of which one. I know in the Bible is Job. Job is one that really relates to my personal life in some points. Okay. There's a second one that it's not a relation, but it's like a wow, like I can't believe these individuals went through what they went through, like. And I'm looking at people today compared to understanding from that time. That time was deep. that time, those times were dangerous, similar to now, but it's not. Let me explain something to you. Those times was way, if you want to me get to the street level of saying something and talking in that way, gangster. You understand? The gangster was the individual that was standing up for the creator. You understand? The deep individuals that got themselves harmed and partial decapitated. Okay? And during those times. Or constantly on the run. You understand what I'm saying? Or constantly being harassed and stalked by the people that was involved in with the rulers that was spiritually, how can I say, distorted to a point where they were so used to them living okay and everything so right and everything peaceful to them and loving and you know, they was easy to do things to other people to get things that they wanted. But then it was seemed as if nothing was being done. They were just advancing on a certain level of, how can I say it, their education, right? And I look at this time, right? Now I say, there's a point where now several objects or several things or having items like a car or whatever, it seems to for certain kinds of people to be a major material item, right? So then they feel as though nothing's wrong, but they never really walked on a foot before. You know what I'm saying? Like it won't get it when it gets to that specific level of losing everything that you have right now. I think, in my opinion, those times will come back because you still gonna have those kind of people still around to manipulate you, to have you believe that a certain form of success that not only you can receive these things by harming other people or distorting other people's life or lying, manipulated, uh, um, is the way to be. Now, let's get back to the individuals. I see a lot of people talk about Mr. Turner, you know, during that time when they say he read the Bible and this and that. Then you have, let me stop right now. Yeah, so it was one of the prophets was that's in this apocrypha is the martyrdom of Polycarp. That one gave me some it gave me chills in a way because just the realness about reading that story was so man. I'm glad I came across that book because someone told me, you know, check it out. I had the red book, if anybody, I know people are familiar with that particular apocrypha. But the ones that's coming out, they're saying this, and this is another thing about that. You have so many debates and stories and this and that. Like I said, I don't deal with that. I just take whatever comes to my spirit, and if it's telling me something's off, I won't deal with it. That's just how it goes. The red one, they didn't have too many stories of the, not stories, but you know, the scriptures of those prophets at that time and messengers. Until I came across this specific one. Now they're saying there's other ones, this and that. I think, in my opinion, like I said, not my opinion, but the truth. All forms of scripture that's since you know they're saying that a lot of things was taken out. I can understand that, and I know reason why. But you have to accept all documentation that comes to give you insight of um, the spirit, and everything kind of leads you back. It's leading you directly to Christ. You understand what I'm saying?